These standards aren't just about the bad things we'll prevent, it's about the good things that we'll build. There's A123, a clean energy manufacturer in Michigan that just hired its 1,000th worker as demand has soared for its vehicle components. Companies like these are taking root and putting people to work in every corner of the country.
See, it was worth waiting for. Remember that? Well, that very same company, A123 Systems, officially declaring bankruptcy just a little more than a year after the president said just that. Taxpayers are on the hook for millions again. Is the administration's all the above energy program actually working? Joining me now to break it all down is Marc Morano of ClimateDepot.com and very brave Democratic strategist Julian Epstein. Thanks to both of you for being here. Julian, I'm going to let you go first because this is a tough one. I mean, we're looking at 29 companies who have received $2 billion, and yet another one bites the dust. How can the president defend that? What would you say?
Well, you would expect that a small percentage of companies that get federal grants, not just through the energy department, through a number of departments, are going to have financial problems.
It's not a small percentage, though. I mean, I just got to stop you right away because it's Solyndra, it's Beacon Power, it's Enerdell, it's a Bounce Solder, it's Evergreen. You have Sun Power and Nevada Geothermal teetering on the edge. I mean, now we're getting close to half. I mean, that's not a small percentage.
No, I don't think. I think the dollars, you're still looking at a small percentage. Let me finish my point, if I may.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're looking at, so the reports have had $249 million in grants. It's really been more like 129. It's not really clear, 129 million. It's not really clear that the taxpayers are on the hook here because the grants were for domestic production facilities. Those production facilities are now being bought by Johnson Controls. And more to the point, this is something that's had a lot of bipartisan support. This same A123 company got grants from the Bush administration.
And they were wrong, too.
Strongly supported by Republican members like Pete Hoekstra are now criticizing it. You know, the fact of the matter is this is a huge industry. Cars like the Prius that rely on these advanced batteries are the third most popular cars in the country. These have been in the world, rather. These have been this has been an industry that has had an enormous amount of demand, and all the production has been overseas.
Mark, go ahead.
I'm trying to minimize my Biden laugh here. What he's claiming here is absurd. I mean, this was clearly the Obama administration trying to become venture capitalists and create a market where none exists. We now know the electric car industry, Toyota is saying they misread the market. We know the Washington Post, people that should be supporting Obama's initiative are saying if you build it, they won't come. This was supported under the Bush administration. Julian's absolutely right about that, but I believe it was for less than $10 million.
Whoever does it, it's wrong. I don't care which side did it. It's not a partisan thing.
Republicans have wised up on this. They used to be all for these kind of boondoggles years ago, and luckily now they've seen Secretary Chu and President Obama and the absolute disaster that we've seen here. And Johnson Control taking over probably means the taxpayers will never see their money. Keep in mind, Johnson Control received almost $300 million, or at least got a look from the Obama administration. Yeah. So here we have one bailout, one stimulus bill after another, company taking another one over.
Julian,
the market isn't there.
Let's let Julian get back in. Wait, hang on, Julian. I want to ask you a very simple question. As a country, we are broke. I mean, we have spent, our credit cards are maxed out. We have no credit left. I mean, we have an enormous amount of debt. We can't afford to subsidize an industry that maybe one day will be fantastic, but for now is failing.
I just don't agree with that reasoning. I think we have a huge problem with the debt and the deficit, and I think those are problems that are structurally related to entitlement spending. That doesn't mean that you don't make smart investments. So me and your other guests can have a disagreement as to whether this is a smart investment. The fact of the matter is that advanced batteries have a huge market internationally. It's a market where the manufacturing has all been done almost entirely abroad. That market now, thanks to some government intervention, is starting, at least the manufacturing part of it, is starting to come back here. Secondly, you know, Republicans and conservatives love to use these examples to politicize something. But as you look at, just like this in Solyndra, for example, the Bush political team tried to get through Solyndra grants and loans as
also
well.
Wrong.
In the
Doesn't matter who does it, it's wrong. Mark, we only have a couple seconds left. I'm going to let you get in the last point.
The criticism from the conservatives seems a little bit more than opportunistic politically here.
Okay. No, and I'm not here to defend the Bush administration, but I will say it's a issue of scale. The Bush administration was nowhere near anywhere of the kind of figures that the Obama administration poured into this, and I think Republicans have learned from this debacle. You cannot be venture capitalists with the federal government.
If it's such a great business, you wouldn't need my tax dollars. Guys, thanks for joining us.